What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, so it is currently 1:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so a little early today. But things are happening on the chart, and I want to come to you guys with this info a little bit early today. Also, your boy has to do some things before he goes to work, so there's that. Before we get into the video, I do want to ask you guys, hey, if you are finding value in this content that I provide for you for absolutely no cost to you, please support the channel with a like, boost the stock, all right, or boost the channel, pump the stock, pump the Henry. And yeah, let's get into the TA. All right, so we're going to start off here with Mr. VIX. All right, so we do have Mr. VIX coming into the 50 MA. This is something that we continuously got rejection over here. You can see rejection there, there. All right, and then you come up and you had these 4 rejections right there, and you finally flipped it. All right, but you finally broke over it. You did not flip it. You were trying to, you were seeing the VIX buyers coming with their pressure over there, but you know, it did end up giving up the 50 MA, and me personally, I'm expecting to see some rejection here at the 50 MA. I don't think we're going to get a daily close above it. I think VIX is going to continuously get suppressed up until CPI. All right. So yeah, that's just how I'm looking at things. But something I'm actually also seeing on Mr. VIX is we don't have any divergences popping up. All right, over here on our CCI, which is telling me we're probably going to keep seeing this thing pop off. It can start to pull back, and this is where I would expect it to start pulling back, which means I would expect a bounce in the indices is, you know, it's likely going to be incoming. But I'm just going to tell you right now, all right, the fact that we're not seeing these divergences pop up on the 15 hourly time frame is telling me that, hey, all right, after this pullback is done, we probably honestly keep seeing this thing go. All right, so, you know, there's that. And that is going to mean that the indices are going to keep falling. All right, where are they going to keep falling from? That is what I'm going to bring up right now. All right, we have this gap fill here on QQQ, 294.43. This is what I am watching for. Shout out to the Patreon, guys. I hope you guys did like our exit today. All right, another 50% trade in the book. Now, I will say we only got the partial entry. We got the 1/3 fill the other day on that, but it still is providing someone with consistent income. All right, we have now literally just index trades alone. So just on the indices, all right, we have nailed, and this is with my exits. All right, that we did have one of these run to 300%, but last week we had a QQQ call trade that ended up going from 200 to where we sold out around $600 there. All right, then we did have a put trade, and that ended up going over 50% the other day. I ended up scaling out of that at 25% though. All right, but someone could have held on to that one there as well. All right, so that ended up running over 50%. And then you also had the one from the other day. And guess what? Today, where we exited, that was also a 50% trade. All right, guys. So the index trades are going to be the bread and butter. All right, and then you are also going to get each and every other trade idea that I end up coming to you guys with. And keep in mind, guys, they are going to be high probability trade setups. So I got to tell you guys, it's not day trading, okay? That's not the value I am seeking to provide here. I'm going to be quite honest, all right? It is strictly swing trading. Someone can take my entries and trade plans, all right? Someone can literally use these to day trade, and you will be highly profitable with them. But me personally, those trade plans are not for day trading, all right? So they are designed for the person who doesn't want to sit here watching a chart all day. All right, so if that does appeal to you, there you go. All right, $39.99 a month. And what I will say right now is we will be adding a Discord over the next 2 weeks. There will be a Discord that comes with the Patreon. You need to, you know, only the Patreon people will have access to that Discord. So then there will also be a community aspect to it there, just so there is now something for everyone. All right. So yeah, just a little plug there, but yeah, let's get back into the TA. All right. So clear as day, you do have sellers shoving you down here, just like they did over here, which I will say this probably leads to some follow through tomorrow. Right. We're gonna have to see where the volume ends up at the end of the day, but it does look like it's probably going to be increasing sell volume that pops up here. And I did just tell you guys what I told you guys on the on VIX here, right? I'm not seeing the thing that typically means the VIX is going to start cooling off. All right, we're not seeing that happen. All right. We also do have a bearish engulfing candlestick. So if we do end up going down and closing lower tomorrow, that is going to end up confirming that, which then would suggest that we have another move after that coming. All right, which for me, that is why I'm going to be leaning towards, hey, guys, we probably do have an intraday reversal coming tomorrow. All right, the intraday reversal will probably come down, pop down to the 294.43 level over there, and then we would probably end up bouncing from there. All right, and that be seen over here on the 4-hour time frame. We would probably see our CCI come down here into oversold territory and then start bouncing from there. All right, so that's pretty much just what I am looking at. All right, and like, hey, it doesn't have to happen. I'm just saying right now, we likely are going to be bouncing. Like, that is the setup that I'm seeing here. Like I mentioned already, the midterm setup we got going here is like, yeah, the indices are going to be taking a dive and VIX is going to be rising. All right, the weekly oscillators here are in oversold territory. The weekly oscillators over here in overbought territory. All right, this is literally just showing that, hey, all right, VIX is going to rise and SPY is going to fall over the coming weeks. All right, that is what that is suggesting. But as of right now, I think we probably do end up getting that bounce. We come over to SPX, and I'll show you guys what I was pointing out on the hourly time frame last night in the written update over on Webull. All right, so CCI currently does have a bullish divergence. No, we do not. We just lost the bullish divergence. Yes, we just lost it. All right, that is something that is taking place, but we also do have our stochastic over here in oversold territory, all right? So I do think, all right, that bounce is right around the corner. We did start to see that bounce, which did end up popping up at SPY's gap fill right there. That is where you started seeing the buyer step back in, all right? Also at the 50 MA. All right, but now we're down headed for the 200 MA, and that's why it's another reason I think we're going to get that intraday reversal, guys. I still don't think we're going to close underneath the 200 DMA. All right, I told you guys with the data that we've gotten recently, I don't doubt that there are a bunch of sell algos down there on QQQ and SPY's 200 MA. So if you do get the daily close under there, those are going to trigger, and then you're going to have some blood on your hands, you know, for a few days at least, until you start seeing that bounce. And you likely do end up going down and visiting this level down here, 387 to 390. As long as you get the close under, it's currently sitting at 393.23, the 200 MA. All right. But yeah, all right. I do think we end up getting that intraday reversal there. All right. But hey, I'm just gonna say, guys, be careful playing calls. We end up popping out, or I ended up popping out. What I did earlier, I ended up taking about 50% right there. And that's just because, like, hey, all right, I was originally expecting to come down to this level anyway. Yes, we were seeing signs that we were going to start bouncing. There was that, all right, which is why 130 the entry was taken. But now, look at that, guys. We are literally coming right down to that gap fill, all right? So that is, that's the next spot that I am going to be looking to go long here on the Qs, all right? And again, if you're in the Patreon, you have nothing to worry about. You're going to get these alerts as they come anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, guys, don't think it's a day trading service. I promise you guys, it is definitely not a day trading service. It is a swing trading service. All right, that is that. All right. But yeah, all right. You come over here to DIA. All right, and DIA has taken a freaking dive, guys. It has taken a dive. All right, and this is another thing that just to me, I think we're probably going to end up getting this bounce, all right? I don't think we're going to go significantly lower here before getting a bounce, and these are just the factors that I'm seeing that are suggesting that. But we also do have FOMC coming up, and that is the big catalyst. Now, Jerome did tell us the other day that you know, he's open to the 50 basis point hike, and I did show you guys what I did over here on the 2-year that Jerome chases, all right? And if that thing is skyrocketing, all right, like, yeah, he's going to have a lot to chase. But guess what, guys? This is why I do think we're probably going to end up seeing this bounce, guys, all right? We probably are. We don't have to. It really does not have to, all right? We could end up doing what I just pointed out, which was we literally went down to, or we didn't go down there, but we could end up going down here to SPY's, like, if we have the close under here, you could come down here and visit 390 on SPY. You could end up doing that. All right. I just think it's unlikely. I really do think it's unlikely. We do have CPI right around the corner. I think it's much more likely that they end up rallying it on into that one. All right. Again, they don't have to do these things, but I at least think it is very likely. All right. I also do expect to see selling come on the 22nd here. So, like, maybe CPI does end up coming in, giving us a cool print. And then the market ends up rallying heavily off of that because, everyone was walking on eggshells after what Jerome said. All right. And now, like, the market is like, holy crap, start pricing back in lower rates. Go, 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 go. All right. And then they rally into FOMC. And then, all right. Then FOMC, he does what I've been saying, like, hey, pretty much what he just told us he's going to do the other day. All right. He said he's open to it. Well, in my mind, that's him saying, like, hey, this is probably what we're about to get. All right. And then that would end up tanking it. So that would probably look something like this. You fall into CPI. CPI ends up doing that. You somehow get up here, or it doesn't have to come up here. All right. But this gap still was left open here on SPY. So I do think it's going to be used to the dealer's advantage. All right. And then boom, FOMC comes along, and that's really the catalyst that ends up letting these weekly oscillators here finally end up playing out to the downside. All right. And look at that. This is freaking crazy, mates. Crazy. All right, look at that. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Let's actually look at DXY real quick. So I pointed out that DXY was trying to base on top of this previous supply zone that you expected. Like, you expected sellers to come in here, but that's the dangerous part. If they weren't stepping in there, that would have been dangerous. Well, guess what, guys? They did end up starting to step in, so that is cool. All right. If we're going to see a rally here on the indices, then we're probably going to see DXY end up cooling off. We probably do end up revisiting this trend line. That's probably where we get that next bounce, and that will end up, that if it's bouncing, that's going to end up putting negative pressure on the indices, or equities as a whole. So we'll end up seeing that. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this short formed content that we have here. We currently have a 12-minute video going. We had the 15-minute video yesterday. All right, and this is just like I was just showing you on DIA. Like, this is another thing that suggested to me, like, hey, you're probably going to end up getting a bounce out of here. Instead of you going much lower from right here, that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just saying, all right, you can see IWM right here. Also, it is falling off of declining sell volume. It'll probably have inclining sell volume today, though. I'm going to be honest, all right? But you see this one, this daily CCI here. It's already, like, deeply oversold, all right? These are the spots where you got, like, decent-sized bounces, all right? So we can just, over here, just put on a line there, all right? And you could see, all right, when we came over here, this was on this day, you did go lower, you went about $5 lower, but that was your bottom, and you end up going $25, $30 to the upside there. All right, so that's what I'm getting at, and I don't think that's happening. I don't think we're going to be massively moving to the upside. But again, over here, this was on this day right here, your low was 179, you went down to 177, and then boom, you had a really strong counter trend rally that was over $10. All right, that's what I'm getting at. It's the same over here, all right? This 171, your low came 163, so this was, you had a decent weight to go there. But after that, that is when you end up having a rather decent, rally here. All right, this was a big move. All right, and I don't think we have a decent sized rally right around the corner. I think Jerome's going to bring down the hammer on the 22nd, so I don't think it's going to end up looking like that. All right, but I think we probably do have that this decent sized counter trend rally right around the corner. All right, we are heavily selling off here. Maybe we do end up seeing the buying pressure stepping at the 200 MAs again. We have SPYs. Probably not. We probably do not go down and reach QQs down here at 290. But SPYs is within $2 now, so that is a thing. All right, is it within two? Yeah, so SPYs within $2, and IWM. That one is also within $2. So that is what I will be watching, all right, for a bounce. And yeah, obviously I will be also watching for these bullish divergences to start popping up on the hourly time frame. All right. But they currently are not. So that is something to note right there. But if we are going to be getting a bounce, this is where I would say, like, hey, it's probably going to come out of here. All right. What's going on right now? all right, you do start seeing these the CCI start hinging up here. Let's see what we got on the hourly time frame. No. All right, but when you start seeing that stochastic start crossing up, that's probably when you start getting a your next bounce. And maybe it doesn't take you back up above this high that you just had. All right, maybe it does not. All right, maybe they end up blocking that, and then you trade flat up until CPI. That's what I was saying. All right, I was saying yesterday one of the possibilities that they literally trade you back up here. All right, you get back up here aggressively. Maybe today it would have been. All right, and then they literally just trade it flat up here, right above the gap fill, or right underneath the gap fill until CPI. And then this is like, that would be putting you in this decision point right here where you can go big to the downside or you can go big to the upside. This is an important spot to be in. All right. But yeah, all right, let's look at the 4-hour time frame over here on SPX. And this is another factor suggesting like, hey, all right, I think we're probably going to be getting our bounce pretty soon. All right, you come over here and your hourly RSI down here is it's approaching the 30 level. And this is just where you typically will see these bounces. All right, unless you stay down here and start forming your bullish divergences. All right, but I'm going to show you guys right now. All right, this only happened. You formed your bullish divergences down here, I believe. Yeah, right here. And that gave you your decent size move right there. All right, and then you form this bigger one right there, and that was going down there. All right, but that had a catalyst. You had something that pushed you down. All right, right now we don't have a catalyst. All right, so I think we are going to need those catalysts to come by, and I don't know. It makes sense to have a cool CPI. I don't know why. Like, my gut wants to say, hey, it's probably going to be a hot CPI. All right, but yeah, I mean, you know, like, want to say, like, it makes sense with what the charts are doing right now. It makes sense that we're going to have that cool CPI print. All right. But yeah, guys, I will leave it at that. All right. I'm looking for a bounce here at this 294.43 gap fill. All right. We got the start of that bounce, but you know, maybe QQ's gap fill is going to end up doing that. All right. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh, and by the way, guys, this is something I also mentioned yesterday as well. All right. Apple ended up leaving this gap open at 151.11. All right. Maybe. All right. This fills alongside QQ's gap. All right. You are now $1 within this gap as well on Apple. I would expect this is going to be filled. So this is something I'm going to be watching. Well, actually. Oh, no, come over here. Come over here. We'll come over here. There you go. All right, guys, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you guys found value in this content, please leave a like and support the channel. Pump the stock. All right. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.